Assignment 2 is asking you to think about writing in a different way than you've been used to in, say, literature classes. You might want to think about literature as asking you to think about what writing means. What does a poem mean? What does a novel mean? In this assignment, we're asking you to think about what writing does, and we call that rhetorical analysis. So I want you to take a look at those posters that I assigned you for homework, the World War II posters. And I want you to think about how exactly are they constructed to persuade? What elements do they have that are persuasive? And how exactly do they connect with their audience? For this assignment, I'd like you to find your own examples of things similar to the posters. They could be album covers, other forms of posters, but you might want to look at something visual. And I want you to think about exactly what the context of this poster is and what elements in it are persuasive. So in the first assignment, we looked at how exactly to respond to a point-by-point argument from somebody else. In this assignment, we're asking you to go a little bit deeper and to think about the actual structure by which they're trying to persuade you. So you might want to think about this as an assignment where you're trying to break down the different persuasive elements of a composition and then critique it, analyze it. So it's a much less direct back and forth discussion than we had in the first assignment. So in the next few weeks, I'm going to be going over some things related to rhetoric. Next class, you're going to have a primer on rhetoric, and I think that will get you off to a good start. If you're confused right now, I'd like you to go and look at the posters that you had for homework and to think exactly about how, visually speaking, they're trying to make the argument that they are. So identify the argument they're trying to make, and some of them it's very overt, like recruitment, for example, and then try and figure out the different visual elements, visual and textual elements that are at work in the composition. And then think about visual text that you surround yourself with and how some of those might be considered persuasive. So for Thursday's class, I'd like you to come to class with some examples of your own of things that you might consider critiquing rhetorically. And we'll talk more about that. Thanks.